Hello and welcome to Circuit Board, a show where I continually break things, but also fix them. This week, we're going to be focusing on the latter, fixing, and the thing we're going to be fixing in question is this, a 2001 PowerMac G4 Quicksilver. Nice. If you're wondering about what's inside of this computer, here it is. It's got, well, not much really, because you can't see that. Sorry about that. Ooh, that didn't sound good. As you can see here, it has a processor. The processor in question is a dual 800 MHz G4 chip, because it's PowerMac G4, so it's got a G4 inside of it. It's got 1.25 gigs of RAM, and this enormous graphics card is an NVIDIA GeForce 4 Ti 4600 Mac Edition with custom fan. But anyway, to the main gist of this intro. This machine doesn't work, but it should. Why doesn't it work? And why should it? One thing that might have caught your attention early on is the distinct lack of a power supply. And of course, electricity is a necessity for a computer to operate properly, if at all. So we should probably investigate why that's not there. For that, we can look over here at this box, where we'll find what looks like a bomb, but is actually me attempting to repair electronics. So here's the rub. The PowerMac G4 Quicksilver was, for its time, a decent computer. Wasn't too expensive, arguably, and it was pretty good at beating Intel's ass when it came to performance. Kind of as well. But, problem, power supplies. Apple apparently wasn't very good at making them, so they all failed, including this one, which worked intermittently for about 14 years, 15 years, and then died. Sorry, Apple, didn't do a very good job. It's absolute trash. You fucked up big time. But for now, I must unfuck what you have fucked and solder. Like, I have nothing to live for other than resurrecting Macs. Nice. And here is a brief rundown of the plan. I'm going to be taking this power supply and transplanting its innards to where this power supply used to live. I've got a slight problem because this power supply has a very large fan on it, which I'm assuming it needs, as in I can't just get rid of it. So, gonna have to get creative with the cooling and also moving that switch so that it doesn't get in the way. Apple, obviously being the company that they are, couldn't just, you know, make an ATX power supply and put it in a computer. They had to take an ATX power supply, change through the voltages and keep almost exactly the same connector, but change the pin out, which is why people like me have to do what I'm about to do and solder forever in order to get to work. Ah, lovely. Now, I will confess to making a slight error when I first went about this project. I found a power supply which I thought would be suitable, and I did loads of soldering, which took hours. Then I looked at the side and noticed, A, this is an absolute trash tier power supply with a frog on it, which I shouldn't have even breathed in the same room as, and it's only 300 watts, which is about 40 too few for this Mac in particular. Shit. So now, got to undo all this and unfuck what I have fucked. Ha, nice. Now, at this point, I really don't want to mess myself up and create problems for myself further down the line, any more so than I already have. So I'm going to try and sever this mesh of wire without sacrificing too much length of it. I'm kind of thinking about there, but then that's not looking like too much cable. Shit. Here we go. smashing this thing open and smashing this thing open. Hopefully this will be nice and straightforward, as I'm not in the mood for shenanigans. Look in here, lots of bolts, lots of screws. Let's start with these two. Is it really going to be just 5 screws to get this open? Now, I'm very conscious of the pressed metal edges, and I have previously gashed myself on it, so I really don't want to repeat that experience. Lots of umming and ahhing going on, and not much dismembering. These other screws could also be in play. If they're screws under the label, I'd be mind blown. So undo more screws. Hey! Oh! Oh! Oh dear. Let's investigate. So here it is, out of the box, out of its own box. It's a power supply with nothing attached to it other than these cables, which is kind of what we wanted. Now it's just my job to make this into something useful again, because at the moment it looks a bit sorry. Always solder in a well-ventilated environment. It's been quite some time, and as you can see, I've done a sort of mediocre job of this soldering here. Tried to be as tidy as I could, but now I've got the slight problem of I bought this little gadget to convert one of the 12 volt lines on this to a 28 volt line, so the fucking pins here have the right voltage supplied to them. However, I don't have a multimeter at the moment because I'm a bit of a noggin. So I'm going to have to find out a way of figuring out how much voltage this is going to put out of it without a voltmeter. Nice. Here's what I've got going on at the moment. It is a big mess of wires, which looks horribly hazardous, and I really wouldn't advise you did this at home in the same way. I'm doing this like this because I'm an absolute madman with no regard for my own safety. With regards to this little bastard here, I've just chucked it in, and I'm going to hope it just does what it's supposed to, and I don't have to worry about it. So here goes nothing. It's not plugged in at the moment because I just want to see if it boots up at all. So, shit. I'll plug this bastard in. And then, very scaredly, this one. Oh. I didn't die immediately. That's good. It's a good start. I imagine that was mostly just a shot of my back. Now I'm gonna reach for the power button and fear nothing. No, of course it's not gonna work straight away. Shit. Yeah, You didn't check the power supply worked before you started soldering, did you, Peter?
Why are you doing
Nice job there.
It was all going so well, and then you had to go and mess it up like you go out. Why? What happened to you? Why are you going? You should go and get your head right now. What are you on about? What are you doing? What are you doing?